library, correct? Okay. Men, mother.
Okay.
Did you get it?
Testing the mic. Oh, there it goes. Yep, right there. Yep. Okay. So I'm inviting all the children to come up and have the children's story. There's baskets right over there. I don't know if we can do that right now or not. I don't know. I'm new to this one during communion, so. Do we have any more children that want to come up and hear the children's story? Hi. So today I wanted to talk to you children about what I used to do when I was young, long ago. I used to work as a beekeeper. And look on the screen. Can you see the bee up there? It's pretty cool, right? So I would have, when I worked as a beekeeper, we had lots of bees, and we would watch them work, and then we'd go out and work with them. We'd wear a funny hat. I don't have the right hat, but I have this hat. And then it had a screen over our face so that the bees wouldn't come up and bite us. They don't really bite. They sting on the back side of them. If you look at that bee there, you can see that they have a stinger in the very, very rear of their body. And that's where the back side of the bee. And as the bee gets on the plant, on his arms, he gets pollen and goes between the different flowers, which helps us eat. Almost all our food is pollinated by either bees or butterflies and many insects. And there's the beehives. A lot of times in the summer we paint them white. Why would you think the beehives are white? Because the bees get hot in their house. And we know that right now, right? Today is going to be hot. And so when you're in that outfit working with the bees, that tool that the beekeeper has there is called a hive tool. And he pulls the hives apart. And then he checks for a queen. You got to have a good queen if you're going to have a beehive. And see, he pulls it out and looks at all the bees. And she can lay as many as 2,000 eggs a day. That's a lot of work for the queen. And that's all her job is to work and the rest of the bees work in a colony together. So what we have is, I brought this squirt bottle to represent what the bees do when they get hot. If the bees get hot, they turn the fan on, which is their wings. There's the fan, and then they squirt like this in the air. You guys want to try this? There you go. The button's on the back to turn it on. And then there's a squirt bottle. There you go. And then you just pull the trigger and squirt it in the air, just pretending like you're a bee. And that's what they do in front of the hive if they get too hot. Give that to your brother and sister there, and now have them try it. They go and search out water. And then when they get too cold, what do you think they do? They all huddle together in a group. Thank you. So, isn't it marvelous that God gives them the ability? And then when they make the honey, they get the nectar out of the flowers, and they put the nectar in the comb, and they use their wings to get the water out of the comb, because the nectar has water and sugar in it. And then when they get into the comb, they're putting honey in. And once they get the honey just the way they like it, they cover it up with wax. Have you ever heard of beeswax? They make candles out of it. It doesn't smoke or burn. That yellow stuff there is beeswax. And look at the perfect shape that the queen lays the eggs in. And after the eggs hatch, the bees come out. And once the bees come out, they fill those same sacs where they came out with honey. And then we enjoy honey. How many of you like honey? All of you like honey? Yeah, that's really good. And the beekeeper's cutting the wax off, and that's wax with honey. He uses a knife, and sometimes they have it heated and sometimes not. But they have a machine that looks like a great big washing machine, and it spins that comb after he decombs the comb. And it spins into a big vat. And when I worked as a beekeeper, our vat was 13 feet tall, which is about the height of that right there. That's how deep our honey was. That's a lot of honey, right? It was, to get real deep in the numbers, almost 5 tons of honey would fit in a vat. That's hard to imagine, 10,000 pounds of honey. See, don't you look funny when you're wearing a beekeeper suit? And I did many hours out there in the field. As a beekeeper. And guess what comes out? The bottom of the vat comes honey, and the wax goes to the top. Yeah, right like that, honey. And when the wax comes to the top, it floats